future can be seen.
All we have to run on are the images that they produce.
We see what they see.
Tell me exactly what it is you're looking for.
Flaws.
You ever get any false positives? We are arresting individuals who have broken no law.
But they will.
The fact that you prevent it from happening doesn't change the fact that it was going to happen.
The system can't be
Like
wrong.
sushi.
Hey, how's it going?
Back at it again. Bet you didn't know, your boy can capture HDMI as well. Hello, hello, hello. Little breakfast ASMR for everybody. This time, we're going HD. Who have we got here? It is the Roland V1HD. It's quite noisy. It's got a big fan in it. It's sucking in air from the front and pushing air out the back. So if there's a bit of soothing white noise behind everything you hear, you will know why. In 2019, I believe, 4 inputs, 2 outputs, which are actually assignable. The multi-view is behind here. And then I'm also going direct to HDMI capture. It's got this lovely, real feel simulation T-bar. If you take a look at this layout and some of these features, you might think, hey, this looks a lot like a Roland V4. And you'd be right. 4 channels, A bus, B bus, mix wipe, it doesn't have a cut, transports a T-bar BPM sync for mixing. Oh, okay. Interesting. Effects, supposedly. So, is it the successor? Is it the successor to the V4? Good question. Kind of not. Let's dump some stuff. So, here we are with my friend and yours, the Roland V1HD. Let's take a squiz on the back. I'm gonna yank these. Audio input, audio output, RCAs, very nice. Of course, it de-embeds the HDMI audio here, so we can extract the HDMI audio from a camera feed, spit it out as analog, and we also get an additional channel to run in. 2 outputs, one says preview, one says the output. Output, I don't believe is assignable. Preview is assignable. USB, I think with the right drivers, this can behave as a webcam capture, but don't quote me on that. Power, and also output mode. Well, for all our HD goodness, 1080p, 1080i, 720p. Coming around on the front, just like the V4. It's going to do some flashing lights to let us know that it's starting up. There we go. We've got A bus, B bus. You can mix between. It's got the nice red live indicator, green preview indicator, mix, wipe and cut. We've got headphones, mic input, and volume control for both. I'm a bit low on HDMI cables, so I only have 1 input. And I only have this thing for the morning because I took it home to repair it. It had totally frozen up and the settings had freaked out. Or the panel was locked and the settings were kind of all over the place. So if you're familiar with things like the Blackmagic 18 minis, they're super robust and they will take just about anything that you can throw at them in terms of video format. That is not the case with this, but this has other things. And it's by Roland, so I've got a big soft spot in my heart for that. 4 channels, of course you can just cut live. I've got preview. On our multi-view we get a nice green outline. And when we transition we go red, 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 and we pop back to green on the preview. So, I've also got a range of wipes I can go through. It's got every classic wipe you might remember from the good old days. Venetian blinds there. Mix. And hitting the transport, the way it's set up at the moment, will cause an auto take. Effects. Yeah, that's a chroma key, which I will show off in a minute, because hopefully that means I can show you some feedback on this thing. HDMI feedback, yeah, got it set up so camera 4 is on both, and I've just got an image flip here, so that lets us see an image to image transition a bit better. BPM sync, just like the V4. Remember how good the BPM sync on the V4 was. No BPM nod, tap BPM, and it will of course wipe, mix, cut in time to the beat. A good way to dive into it, unlike the original, there's a little bit more menu diving. So unlike our other friend, the V4, there's a bit more menu diving in this one. Setup menu, I hold the tap BPM. Now we can see on the direct out record, we navigate using the transport buttons to go through our menu settings, and then we use the T-bar to change them. So all the great stuff you'd want, the interlacing modes. This is for overall mode of the mixer. So at the moment we've been using an A/B mode, but we can also go program PST. So let's jump out of this. So now what you will see is that live is always on the top and preview is always on the bottom. It's got MIDI, which makes it kind of very like the V4. You can control it via an iPad app. You can control it via the USB cable on the back and the computer. And you can also control it via MIDI. I know a lot of mixers have MIDI, but I'm still surprised when I find MIDI. So change our LED color, very classy. So here, let's go to memory slot 1. Here is where our effects live. I'm going to turn on the effects. See if I can use them here. Great. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's check out what we've got. We've got split, horizontal, split horizontal squished, split vertical squished, picture in picture, picture in picture with a border. For my TED talk, another picture in picture. Now I'm just scaling the picture in picture. If I had stuff set up for a blue key, we could do a blue key, green key, black, white, so 2 types of luma keys. Flip. And flip our image, which I think is pretty classy. Find edges. From something that looks so professional, I'm a little confused as to why it's present. Yeah, so of course we can color cycle through our find edges. The fact that this was one of the colors that you picked just like blows my mind. Knob's a bit fiddly, it's like very fine steps between effects, but whatever. Again, you've got control in the app, so who cares? You know, I don't think this was designed for VJs. Silhouettes, so we've got like a hard kind of black-white key. Posterize, you can crunch right down for all your great 80s effects. Color pass, you know, lock onto the blue or the red, only pass a range of colors like my beautiful lips or my blotchy skin tone. Colorize. Hello V4, hello, I remember you. Negative, of course, hello V4. Oh, I remember you, V4, I remember exactly what you like. So now we can preview all our different wipes. Ooh, I'll have to see what they look like up here. See, we've got all the classics. All the classics. Got all the classic wipes you might be familiar with. Transport settings, sorry, there's transform settings. So we could do auto takes with this, or we could cut We can turn on effect, mix, wipe. It's cool. We can kind of set it, these buttons, to sort of anything it is that we want. Yeah, so I haven't shown too much creatively. What is going on, and that is because there's a lot going on under the hood here, but it's quite difficult to access. I'm going to try and do something cool with it. Keep in mind, I've only had this for a very short amount of time. I'm going to return it soon, but let's see. So, does it love feedback? Well, let's find out. A little bit, but if I go too far, it gets stuck. And you can see the audio coming in one is totally fucked, so let's not listen to that. There we go. We can see as I start to feedback, starting to get some trails. It's not the wacky, dirty feedback we might be familiar with from some of the others. Let's put on invert. There we go. Okay. Starting to get a bit of something. It's kind of cool. Let's see if I can use my cutout. There we go. Yeah, perfect. There we go. Now we're talking. Let's pull that shit right up. Yeah. I'm in an 80s film clip. I'm in a fucking 80s film clip. Try to find edges. No, I do want that on negative, so we get off that. Negative on our feedback, pretty cool. Let's do some flippy whippy. Yes. So nice. And on that BPM sync, yeah boy. Bet you didn't think something like this could do some cool ass shit. Bet you didn't think. Bet you thought our friend here was a big old corporate sellout. I can actually see some really like gig uses for this. Like, you know, show me like some psychedelic shit on stage and wow. So we got a nice rippling delay from that. It was sick. Picture in pictures freaking out. Yes. Yes. So I'm faded part way. Mix between our feedback on one and our input source camera on two. There's a couple. Ooh, yeah, there's a couple of inputs. So there's a couple of settings for that are pretty fucking. That is fucking sick. So yeah, pretty freaking cool. Pretty cool little thing. I'd love more of a chance to hook it up, especially with the app, which I would be hoping would mean that I could change the effects, you know, maybe via MIDI, maybe sort of in real time, something a bit more kind of cool and chaotic. There's definitely like a lot of potential in this thing. There's like a couple of really nice modes. The preview always has the window in the menu display, so I think if you wanted to do proper feedback, you'd need a HDMI splitter on the output to cut it in two. Yeah, it's a pretty cool little thing. I'd like to be able to spend a bit more time with it. I'd like to be able to set up the MIDI control in the app. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do that in the future. Yeah, that would be very cool to do. I think, surprisingly, I think it has some real sort of like weird glitchy gig potential. I think you'd need a HDMI splitter on the output so that you don't get the menu stuff over the top, because even when you set the preview out to another source, if you bring up a menu, you will always see a menu, and you will always see the audio out section. Maybe you can turn that off. You know, I could check that out. Sure, it would make sense to turn it off for like a vanity monitor kind of situation. But yeah. In the meantime, thanks so much. These things, it's 2019, so relatively new, still kind of expensive. I mean, I can't really advise you as like, should you get them for your venue? Should you get them for your whatever? I was really looking at it in a kind of cool experimental video setup, and yeah, I think there's like some potential here. I really want like a bit more time to fuck around with it, especially with like working out the feedback a bit better and working out like how to get the feedback a bit nicer. So yeah, keep an eye out. Have you got one of these? Have you used one of these? Do you think they're useful? Do you like them? Do you hate them? What would you rate them? Yeah. Till next time. Peace.